everybody. Welcome to this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. I'm your host, Tom Nappy. Coming up on today's edition of HCAM Sports Talk, we talk with Peter Thomas about the latest in Hiller sports. Plus, we have the latest Hiller highlights, and we have scenes from the all TVL Cross-Country meet, plus much more. But first, here are the latest Hiller happenings. On October 21st, Hiller girls varsity field hockey had their final regular season home game and hosted Westwood. The game was a classic back and forth battle, and both teams had some stunning defense and goaltender play. Here come the Hillers up the near side. That is Mary Finnegan sending it over. Now looking to approach. Burke sends it across out in front of the net. Shot and a diving save off the Vallis shot. There's a hard shot deflected out of play. Burke trying to close in. Into the attack zone, goalie slides out. It's going to stay with the Hillers. They're going to have to set it quickly. 10 seconds left. Sent over by Wynn. Vallis swipes it out in front. And time will expire. The game ends in a 0-0 tie, and the Hillers get well-needed points toward a playoff spot. Also last week, the Hillers captured road wins versus Ashland and North Attleboro. Hiller field hockey finishes the regular season with 9 wins, 7 losses, and 2 ties, and now awaits the playoff seeding to be released. On Tuesday, October 22nd, Hiller boys soccer battled Holliston. Just under 13 minutes left in the first half, and this happens. Panthers looking for an illegal throw call. There's a shot and a goal! Ian Wielding! Have the throw in along the far side. Give it off to Wielding. Let him get to the corner of the box. And he pops it in to make it a 1-0 Hiller lead at 12:54 left to go in the first half. The Hillers strike and lead it 1-0 late into the second half. Panthers have a throw in towards the near side corner. Ethan Sahata will take it. Into the box, header, and it's in! A goal for the Panthers off the throw-in. And it was Owen Montalto. Owen Montalto ties the game for Holliston, and that's how the score would stay. The game ends in a 1-1 draw. A tough break for the Hillers, with the game ending in a tie, but the playoff points from the draw will certainly help the Hillers' postseason situation. On Friday, October 25th, Hiller boys soccer hosted Westwood for their senior night game and the last home game of the 2024-25 fall regular season. After some great back and forth play and very good defense and goaltending by both teams, the game remains scoreless heading into the second half. For Westwood. Into the box, out in front of the net and just over the net. Just under 25 minutes into the second half, this happens. Set up by Nicholson. And now loose ball, looking to approach, takes it, it's in! Goal, Hiller, Zach Bauschman! Bauschman, what a breakaway he had, flying up the field, closes in and pops it in, and the Hillers draw first blood. Sends it towards the box. And Champlin just gets it out. Zakroff gets it away. Westwood looking to approach again. And there's a shot wrapped up by Silva. Another good attack by Westwood. Ferrero with that shot.
The intensity in this game is high. It's a playoff-like atmosphere here at Hopkinton High School. It's been an incredible battle. Here comes Westwood. McCabe, and a little too much on that one. And that is going to do it. The Hopkinton Hillers are going to hang on and take the 1-0 win.
The Hillers were able to hold on to the lead and take the win 1-0. Hopkinton has one final road game to wrap up the regular season, but improves their record to 4 wins, 8 losses, and 4 ties, and puts themselves in a very good position to make the top 32 in the Division II state tournament bracket. The Hiller boys soccer team will try to earn more points when they wrap up regular season play next Tuesday at Ashland High School. It's now time for our TVL Sportsnet top performer. On Thursday, October 24th, Hiller football hosted Norwood.
High formation in the backfield, and he is going to pitch it back to Dwyer, and Dwyer finds a little room along the right side, and it's all the room he'll need. A 5-yard touchdown run for Jack Dwyer on the sweep.
Norwood senior Jack Dwyer had quite the amazing day as the captain rushed for 4 touchdowns and caught a 61-yard touchdown reception from Norwood quarterback Caden Sheehan to help the Norwood Mustangs to the 42-3 victory over the Hopkinton Hillers. With the win, Norwood improves to 4-3, and the Hillers fell to 1-6 overall, heading into the final week of regular season play.
Defenders. Oh, there he goes.
Look at
There
this.
he goes.
Right up the far side, and another touchdown for Jack Dwyer. A 30-yard touchdown run.
Be sure to catch a brand new edition of TVL Sportsnet, the show that takes you around the TVL. The second episode will premiere on Wednesday, October 30th at 7:30 p.m. The All-TVL Cross-Country meet took place at the Rentham Developmental Center on Saturday, October 19th, and featured 5 races, including the co-ed freshman 3K, the boys JV 5K, the girls JV 5K, the boys varsity 5K, and the girls varsity 5K. Here's a look at some of the scenes, including the results and interviews with some of the winners, as well as the awards ceremony.
starting off the season here. Make sure that they get a good finish here, push across that line. And your TVL varsity flag game is now on the court.
Congratulations on your first place finish. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels great. I was looking at this meet for a while. Really, I like the course here, so I knew I could do something good here.
Excellent, and a beautiful day for it. A little hot out there, but not too bad. How was the conditions on it?
No, I like it. It's really good today. It's better than it's been kind of colder the last couple of days, so it's just kind of nice. I like this weather right now, so it was good. It was good weather.
And how did your team perform overall? It looked like there was a lot of top finishers.
Yeah, hoping we won again. We've won the past couple of years, so I don't know. Hoping we won again, so I think we did. Hope so.
Absolutely. And what was your time?
15:56.
All right, man. Fastest in the TVL. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hold it, guy. First out there today, how's it feel?
Pretty good. It's a hot day, but I think that's good for running. It keeps your muscles feeling good.
And how's the course out there today?
It was pretty good. It's a fast course, and I think it helped running as a pack the first mile, and having kind of the repetition helps you pace yourself pretty well.
And can you talk about how your team's done this season?
So we finished 5th as a team at the Twilight Invitational race. I think that was a week or so ago, and that's pretty exciting. As one of the middle of the season, to finish that high is really our team is excited for what we can do at divisionals and states. And then today, I'm not sure. I think I heard it's kind of going to be close between a couple of teams. I don't really know what the scores were, but I think our team finished strong. We've had a lot of PRs across the board from the beginning of the season until now, and I think if we keep racing together and as we have done, we can do pretty well.
All right, well, you're the fastest in the TVL. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Delia?
Yeah, what grade you are?
Oh, I'm a senior.
Oh, I'm Annie. I'm a senior. I'm Kira. I'm a freshman.
I'm Maeve. I'm a junior.
I'm Taya. I'm a junior.
I'm Lila. I'm a freshman.
I'm Molly. I'm a junior.
I'm Olivia. I'm a senior.
I'm Susanna. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Haley, and I'm also a sophomore.
I'm Kara. I'm also a sophomore.
I'm Rachel. I'm a junior.
I'm Abby. I'm a senior.
I'm Adrian. I'm a junior.
I'm Violet. I'm a freshman.
I feel like we all brought our best and really ran for us as a team instead of individually. That's what really set us apart.
It's been really good this year to have such a big pack of kids, and I feel like everyone trains so hard and works so hard in practice that it inspires us for those meets.
And what's it been like to be part of this team? It seems like you girls have a good camaraderie.
Yeah, it's really fun. We're all competitive. We show up for each other, but we have still a lot of fun moments, especially on the bus.
And how's it feel to be TVL champions?
Amazing!
Yeah, I think we all really worked hard to collaborate together and use everyone to push ourselves and be competitive and stay strong and try to have a great time and do our best. Yeah, it was great.
Welcome to Rentham. My name is John Longley, Director of Athletics at Norwood High School and Director of Cross-Country for the Tri-Valley League. A couple of thank yous. Wanted to shout out Jean, coach of Hopkinton, for all of her help with the event today. Thank you to Coach Jean. Also Jason and everyone at the MSTCA for coordinating the event with us. It was a great success, so thanks to Jason and the MSTCA. Everybody at the Run House, Bob Muldoon and his timing, and Chris, our Director of Officials. So thank you to all those groups of people that supported you all today and helped put the event on. Again, thank you to especially all the coaches, and congratulations to all of the student athletes on your performances today. So everyone, round of applause for all the student athletes here today.
And also Michael Mahone, too.
Okay, boys, in 10th place, come up and get your medal. William Child, Ashland.
Okay.
Zach Lemberger, Dedham.
Keep going, keep going.
Shane Unger, Medfield. Max Harrington, Holliston. Sean Parham, Norton. Tony Mari, Westwood. Jack Almeida, DS. Carson Pacheco, Ashland. Sean Finnegan, Hopkinton. And this year's boys varsity champion, Stephen Layton, Hopkinton. And the boys team champions this year with the score of 46 is Hopkinton. Coach and captains from Hopkinton, come up and get your team plaque, please.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Take it.
Okay, next up is the girls' top 10. Susanna Rockers, Westwood. Leo McCormick, Medfield. Maeve Gavin, Westwood.
That field, right there.
Sophia Werneski, Ashland. Annabelle Lynch, Holliston. Martin, Norwood. Elise Sedora, Hopkinton. Emma Genovese, Millis. Tay Pignotti, Westwood. And this year's girls varsity champion, Maggie Cushman, Holliston. Today, the girls team champion with a score of 51, Westwood High School.
Take a picture, then Jean's gonna get out. It takes us a few minutes. It takes us a few minutes to get organized. Get in, coaches.
Did I tell you?
Hold it up.
40 years of experience. Coach, 40 years of experience. Oh, yeah. My name is Michael Mahone. I've been the cross-country promoter for the Mahone's cross-country organization for the last 40 years, the Ruby Jubilee Series. This is one of the most exciting races for both boys and girls varsity race. But as of right now, it says, who knows who's going to be winning. Congratulations to Hopkinton's senior Stephen Lenensky and Maggie Cushman from Holliston High School. Did a tremendous job. What's going on? What is the greatest race TVL it's been ever have at the Weapon Development Center. Awesome. And also, this is my 47th meet of the season. This is career meet number 2,109, going after my own record of 73 meets or more at the end of the season. I'm definitely looking for future cross-country meets, and invitation to all league meet events is set for tomorrow. I'll be heading for Wachusett for the district meets, then Monday heading for the Carlisle Invitational. Tuesday back here at the Catholic Conference Boys Cross Country Championships. That's doubleheader at the Dew Valley Conference on Wednesday. The Cologne Athletic League is at Devon's at Thursday. Parties to DCL, and then Saturday the all-day festivities for the Hawkmanok, Cape Ann, Bay State, and the South Coast League Conference Championship. I'm looking forward towards for the Mahone's Cross Country Tour on the 40th anniversary season for the Ruby Jubilee Series. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this segment of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here, and we are going to go through our NFL picks. Unfortunately, the guys couldn't join us this week. We just had too jam-packed of a show, but we will get them on again soon. We're aiming for next week, but we do have some great NFL analysis to bring you, as well as our picks for, believe it or not, Week 9. Already, the season has just absolutely flown by. So without further ado, let's take a look at our picks from last week. And there they are. This is our Week 8 NFL picks. I went 10-5. Jared went 11-4. Andy went 10-5. Steve went 10-5. Mike went 8-7. So, Mike, you got to catch up. I'm in first at 78-44. Jared, though, gained a game on me. He's 75-47. Steve Watson is 74-48. Andy Barron, 71-51. And Mike Terosian, 66-56. There it is. Lots of good games last week. The Patriots pulling off a big upset over the Jets. Great to see them win. Unfortunately, though, Drake May got hurt, and they had to bring in Jacoby Brissett, but they still got the job done. 25-22, as you can see right there. The Philadelphia Eagles dominated the Bengals. I was wrong on that one. Cleveland Browns upsetting the Baltimore Ravens. Probably the biggest upset of the week right there. The Browns beat the Ravens 29-24. And the Rams got the win on Thursday Night Football over the Vikings, 30-20. So some wild upsets, but for the most part, everything went pretty much the way you would expect. Washington, Chicago was very close. What a comeback in the last seconds on a Hail Mary by Washington. They get the game-winning touchdown in the last seconds of the game to take it 18-15. What a week of NFL football it was, and we should have a great week next week as well. On Thursday Night Football next week, we have the Houston Texans at the New York Jets. I got my picks, Jared's picks, Andy's picks, and Steve's picks. Mike is thinking extra hard about his picks this week since he has some catching up to do. But Jared, Andy, Steve, and myself are all going with the Houston Texans on Thursday Night Football to take down the New York Jets. The Jets, they just lost to the Patriots. They're an absolute mess. They have just struggled to find any type of offense. And typically they've had a good defense the last couple of seasons, but not so much this year. So the Jets just struggling to find themselves despite the fact that Aaron Rodgers has been healthy. So we all went Texans. Moving on to the Sunday games, Dallas Cowboys at Atlanta. These are the 1 p.m. games, by the way. Me, Jared, Andy, and Steve, we are all going with Atlanta because Dallas has been an absolute train wreck. They put up, 9 points last week against the 49ers? They have really struggled to find any type of offense and to get any momentum going. So me and the guys, we are all going with Atlanta. Denver at Baltimore. We are all going with Baltimore. Denver has played some good football. It's not that Denver is bad. It's just that Baltimore is probably going to be really mad after just losing to the Cleveland Browns. And Denver, let's face it, they're okay. They beat Carolina last week, which really shouldn't sell anybody on them because Carolina is the worst team in the league. They should be okay, but they just don't have the weapons that Baltimore has. So we are all going Baltimore. Miami at Buffalo. Nice to see Tua Tagovailoa back after suffering another concussion a few weeks ago. Great to see him back, and he played well last week. And they almost got the win, but they ended up falling just short in their game against Arizona. So we're all going Buffalo because if you can't keep up with Arizona, I don't know what would make you think they could keep up with Buffalo and the games in Buffalo. So we have all gone with the Bills. New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Both teams have really been struggling. The Saints have just had horrible injuries to their quarterbacks and have been losing quarterback after quarterback. In Carolina, let's face the facts, they just stink. Steve is going with Carolina, but myself, Jared, and Andy, we disagree. We're going with the Saints, but that game is really a coin flipper because both teams have just been absolutely horrible. But 3 for the Saints, 1 for the Panthers in that one. Las Vegas Raiders at the Cincinnati Bengals. We are going Bengals across the board. The Raiders, they've struggled to keep up with anybody, let alone beat anybody. They got absolutely demolished last week by the Chiefs. Actually, they hung around for a while. They made it somewhat of a game, but then got blown out towards the end. And, against divisional opponents, they've been okay, but besides that, they really haven't. The Bengals, they have struggled as well. Speaking of blowouts, the Bengals got blown out against the Philadelphia Eagles in horrible fashion. They lost 37-17. Rough game for the Bengals, but I guess we all just feel they have more talent than the Raiders, who are struggling to really find kind of any talent on the roster. So we are Bengals across the board and Raiders at Bengals. LA Chargers at Cleveland Browns. We have some disagreement on this one. Actually, there's only one that disagrees. Me, Andy, and Steve are going with the Chargers. Jared is going with the Browns. They beat the Ravens. I guess that sold them. Didn't sell me. It's a division game, Browns-Ravens. So really, those are the games most prone to upsets, but I don't think the Browns will do it again. And neither does Andy or Steve. So me, Andy, Steve are on the Chargers bandwagon for that one. Jared has the Browns. Washington at the New York Giants. Do I really have to talk about this game? Washington is They've looked good. They got a great win on a Hail Mary against Chicago. Chicago's playing some great football as well. And their rookie quarterback there has been fantastic. So we are Washington across the board on that one. The New York Giants, they have just struggled to find anything. Meanwhile, Washington has Jaden Daniels, and that offense has been red hot. So we are Washington across the board. I don't know if the Giants will win another game all season. New England Patriots at the Tennessee Titans. Patriots got a win last week against the Jets. Very impressive win. Didn't expect it. And I don't expect him to get the win in Tennessee either. We don't know if Drake May is going to be back. I hope he is. He took a brutal hit, by the way, in that Jets game. It should have been flagged. The refs totally missed it. Another officiating failure by the NFL. There's been many this season. It was really a shame they missed that hit because that was the absolute definition of targeting, and the NFL should be ashamed of themselves for not calling a penalty against the Jets on that hit. It was a direct hit to the head on Drake May. I hope he's okay. I hope he's back soon. I think Drake May has real potential, and he can certainly be a force to be reckoned with in this league, and it was a shame to see him get hit like that, and it didn't even get flagged. Absolutely ridiculous. No excuse for that. But me, Jared, and Steve are going with Tennessee on this one. Andy thinks the Patriots will pull it out. Well, Andy, as a Patriots fan, I hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping the Patriots pull this out, but I'm picking with my brain, folks, not my heart, and I'm picking the Tennessee Titans to get the victory. The Titans, they're a very mediocre team, but they got a little more weapons than the Patriots, and they've played pretty decent lately. So I think it'll be a close game, though. I do think Patriots will keep it close, whether it's Brissett, whether it's May. I'll say this, though. If Drake May plays, I give the Patriots a slightly better chance to win. I think Brissett did a great job stepping in against the Jets last game and completing that victory, but I just don't think he has the talent that Drake May has. He certainly doesn't have the arm. So 3 for the Titans, Andy for the Patriots on that one. Moving to the 4 o'clock games, we got Chicago at Arizona. I'm shocked. I'm the only one going Chicago here. Chicago's been playing really good football, and they almost beat Washington. They actually probably should have. If Washington didn't get that Hail Mary at the end of the game, Chicago wins. Arizona, they got a win last week. They beat Miami, but I'm not sold on Arizona. Actually, Arizona's won 2 straight weeks, I think. They beat Miami last week, and then the week before that, they beat the Chargers. So they do have 2 straight wins. Arizona's been playing a little bit better, but I'm not buying in. I'm going Chicago. Jared, Andy, and Steve are going Arizona. That game could certainly go either way, though. Jacksonville at the Eagles. None of us have faith in Jacksonville at all, and the Eagles, got to give them credit. They absolutely dominated the Bengals last week, and it looks like they're playing a little bit better of football. They're actually playing the way they probably should play. A lot of talent on that roster, and I don't think they'll have any problem handling Jacksonville at home. Jacksonville, they just struggle wherever they go. They're not a good team. Detroit at Green Bay, probably the game of the week right here. I'm very torn on this. Everybody else went Detroit. Green Bay's at home, and that's why I picked Green Bay, only because they're at home. Detroit's been playing excellent football. Green Bay's been playing excellent football. But I will say this. Green Bay's quarterback, Love, got hurt. If Love is not playing in this game, I am changing my pick to Detroit. Green Bay probably will not win with their backup quarterback. So if Jordan Love is not back in this game, I am going Detroit. But for now, if Jordan Love's back, I'll go Green Bay. Supposedly, Jordan Love avoided a serious injury. I don't know if he'll be back, though. So they're saying he has a shot to play, though. So for now, Green Bay. I might change that pick, though. We'll see. LA Rams at Seattle. We are going Rams across the board. Seattle, they have not been playing very well. They got absolutely dominated last week, and usually they got like a good home field advantage, but Buffalo tore them apart and got a big victory in the land of the 12th man, Seattle. And Seattle beat Atlanta the week before, so they haven't been playing bad, but I'm not sold on Seattle. Rams have been playing pretty well lately. They're stepping up, and they got a huge win against the Minnesota Vikings, absolutely dominated them on Thursday Night Football. And I think they get a little extra rest here heading into this game, so I think that'll benefit the Rams. And the Rams are one of those teams that you don't expect to do much, or no one expected them to do much, but they do have a lot of talent. And they've had to deal with some injuries, such as with their receiver Cooper Kupp and a number of other guys. But regardless of whatever injuries they've had to deal with, they continuously just push forward. So we all went Rams to beat the Seahawks on this one. Sunday Night Football, Indianapolis Colts at Minnesota Vikings. We all went with Minnesota. We feel like the Vikings will come out nice and angry after a unexpected loss to the Rams. Colts, they're a team that's been struggling a little bit to find ways to put up points, and they just had a bad loss against Houston. And the week before that, they beat Miami, but a bad loss against Houston. This week, it was a game that they really had a chance in, but just couldn't find any offense towards the end. And I guess we all think Minnesota will get back to themselves this week and get the victory. Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Kansas City Chiefs. We are all going Chiefs across the board. Baker Mayfield has really struggled, especially since Mike Evans and Chris Godwin got hurt, and they are both likely out for the season, or at least for a long-term period of time. So we are all going with the Chiefs. Chiefs, they just seem like they're cruising through everybody right now. They certainly have a real chance to go undefeated this season. And I can't really go against the Chiefs until they prove that they could be vulnerable and they could actually lose a game. So we are Chiefs across the board on Monday Night Football, and there are your Week 9 NFL picks. A lot more HCAM Sports Talk coming up. Stick around. Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by Peter Thomas of HopNews.com to talk some Hiller playoff situations, some Hiller girls soccer mishaps, and amongst other situations in the MIAA playoff seeding, as the seedings just came out on this Friday, October 24th. Peter, how are you?
Doing great, Tom. All things considered, I'm a little bit, the situation with the girls. But let's get into that later. Let's go into some other stuff first.
Yes, an unfortunate loss to Westwood. We'll have more on that in just a bit, but get things started, why don't we take the people through the playoff situations? It's certainly very interesting across essentially all the fall sports.
Yeah, and indeed.
This is the boys soccer situation we're going to start off with. They are 4-8-3 on the season. Now it's teams that are 500 and above, plus the top 32 get in. So right now, if the season ended today, boys soccer is in.
I mean, hanging on by the nails. Hanging on.
Yep. And really, Peter, that's all that matters. Just getting into the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen in the tournament.
I mean, how many teams have we seen in, soccer, for example, that were, a double-digit seed, had mostly away games, and they go all the way to the quarterfinals or the semifinals?
Yeah, it can happen. Again, tournaments change everything. There's everything to play for. And I mean, you just never know. The boys could be that dark horse.
Absolutely. Now, the interesting situation with them is they have the Westwood Wolverines. I'll be doing that game tonight, actually. And the Ashland Clockers left on the schedule. So they need to get some points in those games. We don't exactly know how many points. It kind of depends what teams below them do as well. But they need at least, I think, a tie in both those games at the very least. Preferably, if you could get a tie or a win in both those games, that would be ideal. Or even a win in one of them would be ideal. But I'll tell you, the Hiller boys have picked it up lately. They played a really good game the other day against Holliston. It was kind of a heartbreaker. They had a 1-0 lead pretty much the entire game. They scored midway through the first half and maintained that lead. Holliston got some great shots off. But the Hillers were holding that lead until we got to like the last 3 minutes. And Holliston gets the game-tying goal.
You got to play the full 80 at this level. You got to play every single second. And, it's a heartbreaker. That's how it goes sometimes with these games, right? I mean, teams find a way to claw their way back in, especially when you got a crosstown rivalry like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they did play the entire game. And actually, I think it was one of the best overall games I've seen from them. They've certainly improved, and, they're a really young group. So to be where they are right now is pretty impressive to me, because I thought for a while this team is probably not going to make the postseason, but I thought wrong. The last couple of weeks, they've been playing some really good soccer. So
yeah, they lost a lot of talent over the last 2 years. They just have, kids graduating, and they've lost a lot of that firepower. So as we talked about it on previous episodes, they're in a bit of a rebuilding season. But hey, look, rebuilding plus you get the benefit of maybe getting some tournament time. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. They're getting great experience, and like the girls team, they got a lot of young guns coming up through the ranks, so it should be interesting. We shall see what will happen with Hiller boys soccer. All right, and this is field hockey. Hiller field hockey having a great season. They had a good amount of returning players this season, which was great. Coach Valencia has really developed this team. They're sitting at number 14, 8-7-2. They've actually clinched a spot, because the worst they could do is finish 500. So Hiller field hockey, congratulations. You're going to get a postseason spot.
Well, and I'm looking at that list too. There's only one other TVL team in there, isn't there? That's Norwood, right?
Well, you got Westwood at 11 as well.
Oh, Westwood, I missed them. Yep. Okay.
And funny enough, there's only 3 TVL teams in the Division II bracket. So all 3 are looking like they're going to get in, which is very impressive. Norwood, you see them sitting pretty at number 1. They're a great team. Yeah. I'll tell you, the Hillers gave them a run last week. It was really a good game and a close game. The Hillers came up short. I think it was a 3-1 final, but a very good game they played. And this field hockey team, they've gotten better and better as the season has gone on. So they certainly deserve the playoff spot. And Coach Valencia, got to give her credit. You just see the improvements with their defense and with their passing. It's just much more crisp than the first couple of weeks of the season. And then moving on to girls volleyball. Look at them. Number 3, and guess what? TVL Large champions.
And you know what? I mean, this is a program that, at some point you're like, well, maybe they're going to see a dip. Maybe they're not going to be so good. And then look at them just storm to the top, led by the Woodbury girls, by the way.
Yes.
That would be Elsa and
Evie.
Yeah, Evie. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, wow.
You can't forget about the likes of Adriana Aquino as well. She surpassed the 500 kill landmark last week, and now she's almost at 600 now.
Incredible
Absolutely,
team.
Yeah.
I mean,
Coach
if you haven't seen a girls volleyball game yet, you really should. Look, we're going into the tournament, but this is the time. They put on quite a show.
And the great news is, if they stay in that top 4, they're going to get a lot of home games, as long as, of course, they win. It's one loss elimination these postseasons, so you got to win. But they could be home until the semifinals if they play their cards right. So great to see them sitting at number 3. And Westwood was a team. You see Westwood at number 5. They're 15-3 right there.
Now you look at Bill Ricca. Bill Ricca here is 19-0, and yet they're ranked lower than Hop because that's the whole strength of schedule thing that the MIAA does. So Billerica has played, some relatively weak opponents is what it looks like. I mean, I don't think they're anybody to be trifled with, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, that's sort of the magic of the rankings that we've talked about in the previous episodes.
Absolutely. And if you look at the out-of-league opponents for girls volleyball, they play a lot of D1 teams, and some of these rivals in the D2 bracket. I think they played Notre Dame of Hingham earlier in the season. And the crazy thing is, Peter, they started off the season 3-3.
Yeah.
And since then, they've gone 13-1.
Yeah, just on a tear.
Absolutely. And they're getting white hot at exactly the right time going into the postseason. And they have they have some tournament play coming up, some holiday tournament play. It actually doesn't count towards the season record. It's just kind of something extra they do to get tuned up for the postseason. And that's what girls volleyball has always tried to do, is just schedule as much as possible to stay tuned up for the postseason, and it's had success. So,
man, imagine if they see Westboro in the final or a semifinal. I mean, you want to talk about a packed house?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Awesome.
Coach Sweetapple pick it up right where Coach Grabmeyer left off with this program. They're a terrific program. All right, here it is. Girls soccer.
Okay.
There's Hopkinton, number 6.
Have slipped. We've
14,
slipped
1 and 2.
Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. I think since we talked last, we had senior night. Senior night was a win against Norwood, right? I could be
correct.
Yeah, and they crushed them. I mean, it was a great night. It was a lot of fun for the girls. It was just that it looked like this team that we've been seeing all year. And then we go on the road to Holliston. Now, Holliston we beat early in the season in a game that was kind of evenly matched. But boy, I tell you, the girls at Holliston, they woke up that morning and they ate their Wheaties and they just thought one thing, and that is just smother this Hopkinton team. And it ended, so the Hillers were down, and we finally got a penalty kick to tie it up at the end. And it was a legit foul, and everything, it was the right call. But the girls walked away from that game with a tie. And I know that they felt like it was a loss, because if you've just been winning, right, just to even get a tie, it's just a little bit like the Medfield game,
Right.
It's just like, oh man, what happened there? Because we're the better team. And then they go into Westwood. Now, let me point out that in that team, Holliston did an excellent job of denying Madison Recupero the ball, and the chemistry of this team all runs through the midfield. I mean, it's Nina, it's Maddie, it's finding Marin on the wing or finding Riley with that run. It's all has to be orchestrated through the midfield. And every time Maddie got the ball, it was a double team, triple team, right? I'm telling you, Holliston, it's one thing to have a plan. It's another thing to execute the plan, right? Like, everybody has great plans going into a game, but it's another thing to execute that well. And they did.
And that's the thing I wanted to talk about with you, Peter. And before that, though, I just want to give tremendous compliments to this girls' soccer team. I mean, they lost some great talent after last season, and to do what they've done, even with that loss, is absolutely incredible.
It seems improbable, even. Right?
But absolutely. It really does. I mean, I expected them to be good because of the returning talent, but I didn't expect them to be sitting at 14-1 and 2.
Right.
So to be where they are, they're in a great place, and they've done a tremendous job, and hopefully many more games to go, many postseason games. I think this team certainly has the capability for that. And I think this team was very motivated coming into the season, and I think they absolutely still are. But what I wonder, has especially their TVL rivals like Holliston and Westwood kind of caught on to them a little bit. Obviously, they know about Maddie Recupero now. They know that they have to put, more than one body on her in pretty much every circumstance. And there's obviously other talent on this team besides Recupero. Recupero is, yeah, let's just face the facts here. She's probably the best shooter on the team. So teams have been covering her up more and more, and it seems to be working. So it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Skiba. I think they're going to they're going to learn a lot from that Westwood game and make some adjustments.
Yeah, so they went in. So they went into Westwood last night, and they suffered their first loss. It was a 3-1 loss, and if you look at what Westwood did, I mean, they basically did they did everything right. I mean, they just it was constant pressure on Maddie. She didn't get any clear looks at the goal. They dominated them physically. I think that's the other thing that I saw in Holliston, and maybe the Westwood coach was paying attention to. Holliston was the most physical team that they've seen this year. And if you think about this game, you look at Madison, right? You look at her style of play, and we've already said it kind of orchestrates through her. She's very much a finesse player. Okay. I mean, she's moving the ball around like quick, like lightning. Yeah. And maybe Nina is a bit more brute force, but certainly Madison is finesse. So this is a finesse game, moving the ball quickly, finding open opportunities. And if you put a body on those girls, they're not used to it because they've usually passed the ball before anyone can put a body on them. But what Holliston did so well was they just roughed them up. And I think Westwood did that to some extent too. They saw that and they were like, oh, look, if we deny Madison the ball and we rough them up a little bit, they're going to get frustrated. And then what happens when this team gets frustrated, and I saw it, is you got players like Nina and Marin and Riley and Alex Clark, and they're trying to put the whole team on their back because they're thinking to themselves, we aren't supposed to be losing. We win. We only win. And so they're trying to do too much. And now the chemistry of the game is messed up. They're not passing when they should. They're not moving the ball around the way they ought to. They're just trying to take long shots and just, kind of Hail Marys. And that's what I observed last night. And look, I think Skiba needs to see that, and he needs to make adjustments. They're going into Ashland, which they didn't win by a mile, by the way, despite Ashland's record. They just eked out a win against Ashland. So they're going against Ashland for their last home game. We're going to need to see some adjustments on that game and also into the playoffs to see, to get by these teams, because otherwise these opponents have unlocked the Hillers. It's not a good situation there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll pull up the seeds again just so the people can see the kinds of opponents you're going to get in this postseason. And Peter, we know from last year's run, there's no room for mistake in this bracket. They're in the D1 bracket, and you're getting the best of the best in this bracket with any team you play. Any team that you see on your screen right now is going to be a challenge, regardless of what your record is.
Absolutely right. And wouldn't it be poetic if they met Bishop again? I mean, wouldn't it just be poetic? And I mean, the girls, they're salivating at that opportunity, but we've got to get through.
But you're going to have to probably get through 4 other opponents.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Assume that Bishop is going to go far because they're great, right? They always are. So, we've got to take care of the business in front of us. And so it was frustrating to watch both of those games this week because we know what this team can do. And that's the thing. We've watched them do it 13 games in a row or something. We know what they can do. When they don't play their game, the wagon wheels fall off, man. And so that's why it was frustrating to watch, I think, because I know what they're capable of. They've shown it.
Yep, they certainly have. And they've gotten wins against teams like Brookline, Algonquin.
Tough teams.
These are very tough programs.
And convincing wins. Convincing. Right. They smoked those teams.
And I thought, look at Brookline, number 4. The Hillers beat them at one point. So they've proven they could certainly compete in this bracket, even, with this year's situation. They've proven they can compete with anybody. But something isn't clicking lately.
I hope that this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we look at this and go, okay, the week of October 25th, it was just one of those off weeks. It happens to teams. No big deal. Everybody was a little tired, but then next week we come back and we're like, all right, we've got our act together. We're focused. We know what we're going to do. That's what I'm hoping happens.
Yeah, and it could also be the familiarity factor, the fact that they're getting TVL opponents that are familiar with them, and those are the teams that typically will give you the hardest time because they know you, they know your system, they know you better than anybody. The Hollistons, the Westwoods, those teams in the TVL large that you see twice a year. So they're getting a lot of TVL large opponents, which I think.
Here's a question. Here's a question for you that I just thought of, which is, we started talking about this could be the best team in Hiller history, right? Hiller girls team in history. Right? We started talking about that. We started talking about Recupero's chase for the record, the scoring record, which now looks out of reach because she'd have to get them all against Ashland, right?